On the main channel, I did a top 5 regrets, and it's mainly just silly collecting regrets with the show and things that we didn't pick up that I wish I had. All superficial stuff, when you talk about gaming. On this list, however, with the things that I appreciate most with the show, it's mainly things that aren't, tangible, except for the first one, and that is video games. I guess. Well, let me just say that I guess the meaning of this video is things that I'm thankful for the Game Chasers just doing the show, right? The things that it has brought for me, and all that stuff. And that is, well, number 5 on the list is games. We'll get the most superficial one out of the way, right? So, video games. Now, I was collecting video games way before the show. Well, not way before, maybe 5-6 years before the show. But as you can see, I got tons of them. It was a thing that we did where I'd go out and look at flea markets or garage sales. Jay would go as well, and it would be, I got all kinds of awesome stuff. The Game Chasers allowed me to get way more than I ever would have. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that I'd go way more frequently because of the show. I'm forced to, and I don't mean that in a negative way. Like somebody has a gun to my head, I enjoy doing it, but it's when you have a show dedicated to doing that, it's motivation to keep at it. So I definitely went and did more flea market and garage sales and stuff like that than I ever would had otherwise. So I definitely have picked up more and have more games, and if being able to experience a ton more games than I ever would have if the show hadn't have been a thing. So I'm grateful for that. Like I've experienced way more games than I ever grew up with, and a large reason for that is the show. So that's really super cool, and a lot of it has to do with some of you guys' donations, and like you send us through PO Box and at different conventions, and I've been able to experience a lot of those games that I never would have been able to get myself or didn't think to get myself, and I've been able to get those. And it's and it's not just games, it's toys too. So both of those things. And while that's not the most important thing in the world, it's we're all gamers, right? And it brings a little bit of happiness and joy to our lives, especially to relive those memories and sit down and play a new game and experience it for the first time and feel like a kid again, right? So yeah, thank you for that, and thank you for watching the show, by the way. Yeah, like all you guys who watch the show, you're the reason why all these things on this list have happened, because if you hadn't watched it, there would have been no show and, well, no list. So thank you. So number 2 on the list here is, editing. So for those of you that don't know, I was a professional editor. Well, I guess I still am. Yeah, you don't stop. But I was a professional editor before Game Chasers. I edited for production houses, for television stations. I did commercials. I never did film, but I did commercials. I did tons of corporate video stuff, boring stuff. But boring stuff pays the bills. So corporate stuff, seminars, training videos. A lot of commercials. I worked with like radio people, TV people, and it was cool. I did several different areas of doing that, the production houses and the TV stations and stuff. It was really cool experiences. I back in the olden days with big beta cams and Avids, and a 14-year-old right now on a cell phone can do a better quality video than I could 20 years ago, first starting out, which is crazy to think. With the way technology has advanced, the quality of this camera right now is nothing that I couldn't have ever dreamed of that. That was like to get anything close to that, you were talking about like just a multi-$1,000 film camera. So it has been a crazy chain of events to lead us to this point in time, 20 years later, to where the technology is where it is, and we can just do all kinds of really cool, super things, especially in the editing stuff. You can do things now that you couldn't do back when I was doing this stuff. You just couldn't. It's crazy the amount of things you can. And this is, and I'm not specifically talking about like effects and stuff like that, but the show has allowed me to hone my skills in editing, I guess you could say, because, I was used to doing a certain type of video or video set of videos, the commercials and the corporate video production stuff. But I never edited things like a Game Chasers episode where it's like a formatted like a television show and that type of style before. So I was, I was green behind the ears, but I figured, yeah, I can do it. So I edited episode 1 and, people seem to like it. And I look back on those episodes, though, in the first few seasons, and it's kind of cringy. And, like, I look at them now, and I'm like, okay, I think I've gotten a lot better. But it's allowed me to hone my skills, I guess, and edit things and do things and learn things that I've never wouldn't have probably been able to do because, honestly, I've never been the most ambitious person in the world. I probably would if the economy hadn't crashed in around 2008 or so. And the company that I'd been working for went under. I probably still be there today, just doing corporate videos. And I mean, it's paycheck, right? Steady paycheck. It's sometimes it's hard to, cast that aside and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to live my dreams and make content that I want, which I always wanted to do. But here's the thing about that. I guess that's where I come in at, where I guess a lot of people would go ahead and still do, well, once you're editing all day, it's very hard to come home and then like edit on your own project because you're just burnt out. You're just done. So I'd be editing all day. I didn't want to come home and film and shoot my own stuff. I wanted to just sit and watch V or Stargate or play video games, play PS2. That's all I wanted to do. Hang out with Jay and play, video games or something. I didn't want to edit and edit my own stuff. I tried a little bit with a cartoon, but I just got I got burnt out. So I guess with somebody with a little bit more ambition than me would have just mustered through it and just did it. And I guess those are the people that really stand out amongst the crowd. But for me personally, I'm the type of guy that I just need to take a break for a while and just get my mind on other things. And that's what happened. So I mean, I feel like I'm rambling on in this video, but again, I guess most of you people that are subscribed to this have some sort of interest. I don't know. If there's just one person by the end of this video, I guess that's something, right? But anyway, editing. I'm grateful that I was able to experience new ways to edit. Okay, number 3. This kind of goes into like a segue for what I was just saying. It's allowed me to do a movie. I've always wanted to do a movie. That's why I went to my film school, is because I wanted to do that sort of thing. I got stuck with the whole corporate and stuff, getting a paycheck and all that. And, I didn't really know how to get my foot in the door when it came to movie making after I graduated. And an opportunity came along to work at a television station doing news and editing news up. So I was like, you know what? I need to get my foot in the door somewhere. Let me just do that. And it led me on that path. So, movie making, working at some place. Movie making, and when you first start off with movie making, more than likely you're going to be like serving the director coffee. So do that or get a paycheck editing the news. I chose editing the news. I was like, why not? It's not, it's not the coolest thing in the world. But I should probably do a separate video on my horror news stories of working in the newsroom. If you're interested in that, let me know below. It was not fun. I'll never do that again. But this has allowed me, this Game Chasers journey has allowed me to do a movie, something I never thought would ever be possible. It's a little late. I'm a late bloomer, but I've been able to live a part of my dream here, and it's all thanks to you guys. For one, obviously helping fund that thing, and then 2, just being a fan of the show to build it up to make people interested in it, to want it to happen. So thank you very much for that. Okay, so number 4 on the list is friends. I've been able to, I realized something. I have 6 here and I didn't even realize it because I've thought of one. So this is going to be like the top 6 list. So number 4, which I think, which it is actually we'll just call number 4. Or we're going up. Oh, screw it. I'm not editing this, by the way. So the 4th one on this list of 6 is friends. I've been able to meet all kinds of like awesome friends over the last 8 years, 9 years. Everyone from Eric to Wood to Alpha Mega Sin to Norm, Johnny, John. It just, the list goes on, and I know somebody's gonna be watching this and going, "Fuck you, you didn't say me." Sorry, but no, these are all people that long after the show's over, I'm gonna still know them. So it's been really super cool, and it's really been a blessing because not only have these people been personal friends or become personal friends, but they're added characters in our show, which is a better bonus. It's because they bring a lot of personality to the show, and you get to see that friendship grow. Like, actually, you guys got to see us. Like, we met Eric for the first time until now. I mean, it's just you can't. That's it's priceless. Not to sound too cheesy, right? So the 5th one on the list. This is one I just inserted, is travel. I'm not a big travel guy. I'm kind of an introvert, just stay at home in my own little world kind of guy. And if it wasn't for this show, I wouldn't have been able to travel and go to the places that I always thought I'd maybe want to go someday. I always wanted to see New York. I've been able to go a couple of times, going to conventions. Los Angeles, I always thought that was a really cool place to go visit, and I've been able to go a few times because of SoCal Gaming Expo, and even Norway. I never thought I would ever leave the country, much less go to Europe, and I went to Norway. So this has just been a crazy ride. All these different places I've been able to go and just see the world. I guess it's got me out of my comfort zone a little bit, and I liked it. I think my favorite trip has been the Norway one, but just because it was just so vastly different than anything I'd ever experienced before, and it felt awesome. So yeah, and that all that brings me to the last one here, and that's you guys. And not to sound too super cheesy or anything like that, but you guys watching and liking and purchasing the DVDs and helping fund the movie, and just watching the ads and nobody wants to sit through ads, but you guys sit through ads and stuff. That is so beyond appreciative. It allows us to do what we do. It allows us to keep doing what we do. It allows me to do what I love doing, and that's just making videos and making content. And here's the thing is, I don't, before all this, the videos that I made were just seen by a handful of people, like somebody that sent out a promotional CD about an apartment complex, or somebody training for a new job, or somebody sitting through a web seminar at a training facility at a insurance company, or just little stuff like that. And you don't think about those things; those don't leave an impact, right? But to have you guys who sit there and enjoy on a all crazy level of having something impact you like that, and knowing that, well, I made something that affects you like that, is like the biggest compliment a guy like me could ever get. I guess I'm hesitant to use the word artist, but I guess an artist, just having somebody appreciate their work. And that's what it boils down to. It could be anything from a regular Game Chasers episode to just regular video. It just, to have somebody say that they like it, or know that they like it, and they're getting something out of it, if it brightens their day. And I get messages like that all the time. That I was watching your video and it brightened my day. One of the best ones I ever got was somebody had messaged me saying that they saw one of our episodes, and we went to a flea market that his grandfather used to go to. And unfortunately now his grandfather has passed away, but in the video, which was shot several years ago, he was still alive, and he had watched the video recently and saw his grandfather's truck in the parking lot of that flea market that he used to always go to. And he said that it really helped him. It made him feel good. And I'm like, wow, okay. It's crazy to think that these silly little videos that I edit, people get something out of them like that. And, I get messages like that all the time, especially people that go through depression. And, I have to go through that crap myself, so I know what that's like. And they're saying, your videos help me. And, I do not make a lot doing this, but I keep doing it because it's worth it to me. It's just, it feels awesome. There's a point where it's like, it has its ebbs and flows when you're doing this sort of thing, especially when you're a YouTuber, it has ebbs and flows, especially what we do, where it's like, the algorithm can kill you one day and you just get so discouraged, nobody's seeing our videos, it's just everything screwing us over. And then all it takes is just that one person messaging you and being like, or leaving a comment and saying, that was awesome. I really love that, what you just did. And, I just binged all your episodes, and I put me in a happy place or whatever. I'm like, all right, it gives me motivation. All right. So it motivates me. I have several messages saved in my messages, and sometimes I will go back and watch if I need motivate, or read if I need motivation. So, I never, sitting in those dark rooms editing commercials and stuff. And again, it's commercial. Nobody really gets an impact from a commercial, or a training video. And I'm sitting there editing these things, or PowerPoint presentations or brochures, making graphics for brochures and stuff. I never thought in a million years, one day I'm going to be able to make something and people are going to love it. And they're going to it's going to help them. Just even if it's in a small way, it's going to help them in some way. And people are going to appreciate what you're doing. I'd have been like, sign me up for that. So thank you. Anyway, this list was, I don't know, a little cringy, a little silly. I don't know what you want to call it, but it is what it is. And these are the reasons why I appreciate the Game Chasers, for making the show and what it's brought. So anyway, thank you for sitting through this bore fest.